Hello and welcome back to Rollsborne, where last time on Savage Worlds, the Shadows over Arkham, Charles and William were looking for further evidence on the island and found evidence of a boat being used to transport the skinned body of the police commissioner, while Eddie was lost underground and encountered something to which he doesn't know the details. The encounter left him with multiple burns over his body and wandering the streets of Arkham in something of a daze and encountering both Charles and William. William on the verge of collapse, deciding to go home and rest, while Eddie went to the hospital to see to his wounds. And Charles returned, and William returned to the office and was offered an incentive to visit the morgue in St. Mary's Hospital and look at the bodies of those that have been those deceased already. And back to our storyteller.
William, what time of day is it?
He's gonna wait till evening, sunset kind of deal. Dusk.
Going to inform Charles?
Probably, just because, I don't want him to show up to work tomorrow and wonder why there's no one else there. When I inevitably fail.
First Eddie disappeared, and then William disappeared.
Charles, are you going to show up to the hospital with William?
Of course. We gotta figure this thing out, so more eyes on the scene, the better. I don't know. He probably brought his camera just out of habit, but I don't know if he'll be able to take pictures.
As you enter St. Mary's, the night receptionist, or desk attendant, however you want to phrase it, he looks up at you. Woman, early mid-20s, long brown hair. Looks up. Oh, how can I assist you?
How do I want to do this? We gotta like do it confidently. I will, as I walk in and they, notice me walking in and, look up, just working late today and I'm going to continue walking after giving them, the short kind of wave of acknowledgement. And I'm going to try to walk past them and hope they don't question it.
Sir, your badge?
Hopefully, I still have my badge, and I will, kind of flick it out, but like do it quick enough that they can't really see it's probably out of date.
Are you still just continuing to walk past?
Yes.
This isn't a true fear test, but fear is the closest.
I don't know, guys. I'm gonna get exhausted again.
No. This isn't a true fear test for her. This is more like anxiety. She stands up, moves around the desk. I didn't quite see the name on that badge. Could you please stop moving, please? And she's following you.
Very well, ma'am. What is it that you really require here? There is a lot to get done tonight. You are paid to sit at the desk.
Hey!
Remember, this is 20s doctors era.
Yes, but there's still people of all different kinds, even in the 20s. I don't care if you're the damn Tsar of Russia. There are
The
procedures
Tsar's
that
been
need to...
dead. The communist shot him a few years ago.
I don't care. Procedures still need to be followed. And for right now, I'm thinking about going back to my phone and calling the police. And she does now quicken her step. You can hear her heels clicking as she pushes past you and interposes herself between you and the rest of the hallway and kind of stands with her hands on her hips.
Very well. Your procedures, then.
Okay. I need to see your badge. And you... Are you just following him? Like... why do you have a camera? I'll get to you in a second, actually. She kind of puts her finger up like, I'll get to you in a second. And then looks back at William.
I will, flick my badge out and be. We're here with the School of Is it just called School of Medicine? Arkham School of Medicine?
Miskatonic University School of Medicine.
Miskatonic University. Okay. Look, we're here with the university. Right now, there's been some unusual happenstances in the city, and the next generation of our medical community need to be aware of what's going on. They need to be prepared for this.
And I've been hired to document, thus the camera.
So you're the press. Is that correct, Mr. Sherman?
I'm press.
Yeah, he is press. But this will not be published in a newspaper. Medical journal, perhaps.
And what exactly are you here to research? I can direct you.
I was hoping to at least speak with some of the doctors here, some of my old colleagues, or get some eyes on some of the earlier incidents in the city here, the bodies.
Well then,
The police were not very good at documenting anything.
you wish to speak to one of the doctors? Follow me. She turns and begins to walk down the hallway, but she does keep a rather her head on a swivel, as it were, making sure that you're still following.
Maybe I should have taken more points in intimidation, lads. I'll follow her.
She leads you through the hospital, keeping a very close eye on you, making sure you do not stray. Leads you to a patient's room. Serendipity. It's Eddie's room, where our doctor is currently tending to the last bit of his wounds. All right, so thankfully, it looks like mostly superficial. I would say don't go playing with any live wires anymore. But other than that, you're gonna make a full recovery.
glad to hear it. Thanks for your efforts, Doc, and you're a credit to the industry.
He turns, sees the 3 people now at the doorway. Oh, I'm sorry. The woman speaks. This is Dr. Henley. Don't call him Henry. Henley. An L. I'll leave these 2 with you, Doctor. One is from the School of Medicine. The other one is from the press. And she kind of gives you a nod, Charles, and gives you the stink eye, William, as she turns and makes her way back down the hallway.
Evening, ma'am. Sorry for the trouble.
Do I know this doctor?
He's younger. He probably became a doctor while you were at war.
He's the bastard that took my job.
Dr. Gerb!
Alright. No, that's fine.
Also, Nah, go ahead.
Ominous. Okay. Well, evening. I don't know what they're paying clerks now, but they're certainly more demanding with their bureaucratic overtones, really, these days.
Annabelle? Honestly, I wish we had 30 more like her. She's damn good at her job. And she's willing to go above and beyond.
Cannot falter, I suppose, but fact of the matter is, I had hoped to talk to whoever was presiding over the multiple murder victims these past few weeks. I don't suppose, coincidentally, it would be you or, the individual on those cases.
I mean, all of us have kind of been having to pitch in. Fortunately, body bags are becoming a little bit scarce around here lately in the past weeks. So all of us have had our hands on them. I haven't had that much contact with them, but I've been in contact with some of the bodies that have been coming in, if that's what you're referring to.
I was hoping that the good fellows of this hospital and beyond are slightly more competent with their autopsies than the police have been so far.
So you want autopsy reports is what I'm getting?
We're here to, I am here to read whatever reports I can acquire, or if at all possible, look at some of the earlier bodies, as they were very poorly documented by the police accounts. The more recent bodies, slightly more documented, but they've also been turning up more and more empty, as you might recall. I believe there's a pattern, but one that was currently eluding me at the moment.
You are working with... Is this a press-related story since the press is here? Or...
The press is here because what other guy can you find with a camera around this city? You may not know me, I did used to work here. I'll have you know I am a licensed professional.
I would say this job is press adjacent. It's not strictly newspaper, more, how'd you put it, schoolwork, documentation, books, that kind of thing.
Yes, the New England Journal of Medicine, you know, that was probably published back in the 20s, right?
Textbooks, you know?
Didn't catch your names.
Sorry, I'll pull up. Press badge, Charlie Bailey.
I was going down a stupid rabbit hole.
Get out.
I wanted to know when the New England Journal of Medicine was started to be published, but I'm on the Wikipedia. I didn't see it immediately. Oh wait, 1812. Yeah, okay, we're fine.
years old though.
Shush.
He said 1812, so it's 100 years old.
What I said, 100 years old.
Press, it's still a published journal. I don't.
No, yeah, I'm sure it still works. Just
Anyways, William Sherman. I don't know if any of the old colleagues have mentioned me in passing. I kind of abruptly left across the pond.
So did a lot of other people. A lot of them didn't come back. Sorry, that's not the point. He taps his foot a moment. Wait a second. He turns back to Eddie. Didn't you say you were a member of the press?
Yeah, I do a society.
And he kind of points towards Charlie. You two know each other?
Yeah, we've done a couple of things together.
yeah, we're no
You know,
strangers.
Usually the big howdy do events. You know, everybody comes along and finally we stand outside in the rain, freezing our asses out, taking photos and saying who's who.
Don't envy that
These
job.
days it's the murders.
That is the big story nowadays, yes.
So forgive me if I'm a bit slow. So your point of the visit is to read the autopsy reports of the people that have unfortunately lost their lives in these tragedies recently. And do what with it?
At one degree, it's professional curiosity. On another degree, hopefully, ideally, in an ideal world, might use this information to help stop any further murders.
Okay.
Now, the degree to which that will be successful, I'm not sure yet. But right now, the methods that at least the official reports know that these people were murdered with are very lacking. I've had my suspicions it could have been some kind of paralytic used on these individuals. But again, the police are uncompromising and incompetent with their work. I had hoped, maybe.
So what I can do is we do have copies that we loan out to the police. So I do know that all the copies are currently in-house right now. We haven't had any requests to go back and look at older ones. The only copy that we don't have right now is the one that we're still working on from earlier in the day. What I can do he's you can see he's like counting in his head. I can retrieve them. However, I will have to redact certain information, identifying things.
I mean, I believe the names are on public record.
Yes, names might be on public record, but they're still wanting to protect the families and the like.
And
I don't want these papers being plastered up on the family's doors as some sort of mock.
Trust me, I have read thousands of these reports. I will not even need to take them out of house.
All right. Why don't you go wait in the waiting room with Annabelle, and I'll be back with you in about an hour. And with that, he gestures for to try and get past the two of you in the doorway. And he leaves.
Oh, but William,
Does
do you not have like keys?
Do I have keys? Probably not.
No.
They made you return your keys. Okay.
Yeah, they probably make you give your keys back, and they.
okay. I'm gonna try this. It's an unskilled roll, but here we go.
D4 -2.
Why did you buy lockpicks without knowing how to use them?
They were cheap.
Cheap.
I'm gonna spend a penny.
Okay.
Let's re-roll that because that's a.
You're relying on the wild die here more so than anything.
Ooh.
Oh, snap!
Oh.
You're able to pick
I will
the
take
lock.
that.
You feel the lockpick get ready to break, but you're able to pull it back just in time and get the last click as the pen sets.
And opening the door. The way forward presents itself.
Chilly in here.
You all enter?
Too late to go back now, you know. We're a little too far in. All right. We're going to make this quick. I want to confirm one detail on these bodies. That's it. And then we're out of here.
Hey, which
And I can
ones?
Take a better job that doesn't have me doing this at the middle of the night.
Let's go looking. I'm gonna go to. I'm guessing there's the freezers.
Yep. It's your typical,
Yeah.
Metal box that you have to pull out, so to speak.
Yeah, so I'll just go to the first ones. Start opening them up.
Are they labeled?
They have toe tags.
Well, I meant the doors. Otherwise, we open every door.
I don't think the doors would be labeled.
I don't know.
I don't know if the doors would be labeled. There's probably like a ledger somewhere around here but
You want to look for a ledger?
I'll look
I
for a
would
ledger.
do that.
Oh, he'll look for there. I'll open doors then.
I'm just gonna look at toe tags.
Yeah, open doors, look for toe tags.
All right.
Names that we would know from the stories.
Give me notice.
I found one.
You're able to find the ledger.
He was looking for a ledger.
Well, yeah, that's what the roll was for. The roll's for.
Oh, okay.
You don't need a roll for the toe tags.
Oh, okay.
That's just
Ignore my toes.
opening doors.
Yeah.
So I need William's roll.
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, they already found it, but
We all found it. We all pointed at the same time. There it is.
You are able to find the ledger, which gives you the exact drawers. I couldn't think of a better way to say it.
Yeah. Alrighty, that one. Open,
right?
slide out.
Put gloves on. And yeah, all I want to confirm is if there's a similar spinal cord injury on the earlier bodies.
Give me that healing roll. Go ahead and take a +2 since you know what you're looking for. You did not
Six,
put
Wait,
2.
but I
But
put +2. Why didn't
I mean, just add 2, and there you go.
You succeed
I put it
either
on
way.
my I put the +2. Why didn't it roll? Roll 20. You can't do this to me.
You find it on the first one and the second one. And after the second one, you're reasonably confident if you look on the third.
Yeah. Okay. He's probably been here since the start then. I don't know. I can't assume it's a he. But I'm mumbling to myself. Let's get the hell out of here.
Zip it back up, roll them in. Lock the door on our way out.
Put it over down.
What are these rolls they're getting?
Secret rolls we don't appreciate.
Oh, don't you just love it when GMs roll?
Alright.
Which way is to the waiting room?
That away.
That away. That away we go.
Also,
As-
you're a patient, so you should probably not be here.
Go back to your room.
well,
He was
I'm
released.
checking myself.
Yeah.
I'm checking myself out. It's done.
Okay.
Because after today, whatever happened, I need a drink.
as you guys enter the waiting room, I will give you one notice roll.
Great. Or they're gonna roll a 12.
Oh, that is terrible. I want to re-roll that. Ben Mia Benny. Oh, come on.
Okay. So,
We're relying on Gavin. Come on,
well,
William.
no, because you succeeded as well.
Okay, just thought we got the right.
As you re-enter the waiting room, both William and Eddie notice, as you come up from behind, you see the back of Annabelle's head. You also notice that her heeled shoes have been removed. They're sitting next to her desk. Still underneath her desk, but set off to the side. William, you also notice that her hair's a little bit more messed up than it was before, as if she had been moving quite hurriedly.
Do I make the connection? I mean,
That's what the notice roll was, right? Or is that a different roll?
I just kind of mutter to myself, or somebody who cares so much about their procedures, you don't seem to be okay stepping in blood or something.
As you reach the front part of her desk, she goes, "Oh, Mr. Rembrandt? Am I saying that correctly? I apologize if I'm not."
Yeah, most people just call me Remy. It's easier.
Are you checking yourself out? I know the doctor said you're free to go, but I just need to write that in the logs.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm good.
Can I go? She takes a book out, spins the book around. Could you just sign, please?
Um, I'm going to take a moment before signing just to see if there's any other names in there that we might recognize.
Most of the names are just. This is the patient log, so it's just names of patients, and it just has the initials of whoever checked them in or checked them out. So it's basically check in, check out, little check mark in that box, who saw the signing and who signed it.
But none of the names that we recognize like over the last few days. No
No.
victims. Okay. Yeah, just this ER. Just this sort of scrawled signature.
She nods and, she checks the box for checkout and then signs her name for who witnessed the checkout. And are the two of you escorting him home, or just happenstance that all three of you came out
That was
together?
the individual Dr. Henley was working with. We waited till he finished with him, and the doctor went back to procure some reports. He came out along with us. Figured I'd show him out since... Why not?
I'm good from here. I'll walk home. Fresh air will do me some good.
And as for the two of you,
Yes, we were told to wait for the doctor to come back with some reports.
she takes the pen that was just used to sign and she points over at the chairs. You can go ahead and have a seat right there.
Thank you.
I'll kind of just pace the the lobby. Gaze out the window for a little bit and turn around. So, how long has he worked here, this Dr. Henley? I don't recognize the man.
She looks up from her clerical work, pauses for a second. Not too long. I know he was. Pauses. Hold on. It's actually a GM not knowing dates. I think hired him as a fledged doctor. I want to say 17? I'd have to check the log. I've only personally been here a few years myself, but he was here before I was hired. But I've spoken with him occasionally.
That would add up why I don't recognize the man.
Gifted surgeon, from what I'm told. Apparently graduated top of his class at the Catonic University. Studied here.
Good to see the locals are still sticking around our humble little town. It's always a shame when you lose actually good talent to the bigger hospitals down the coast.
As you continue to pace, you do, I will go ahead and say on that notice roll, you don't need to make another one. You notice that she does glance up occasionally, still keeping a rather sharp eye on you. Not so much on Charles, as he went and sat down.
I'm a good boy.
Never been one to stand still. Come on, we got it.
Time passes, if you so choose.
I was going to say, as I'm going out, I'd like to go around to the car park. Specifically, personnel car park. See who's got a car.
There's a few cars, like 3, in the employee parking, as it were. Cars are still somewhat of a luxury.
Yeah, of course. So I'm assuming it's likely going to be doctors who've got the paycheck for it. Yeah, going up, just kind of quick, sort of look around, make sure there's no one around, and then the kind of eyes up to the glass, masking side of my face to see inside.
Give me notice.
Don't look into one with the fog windows.
Okay, that's...
Take it down.
Yeah, that is with a raise. As you move between these cars and check inside of them, most of them have the standard array of clothing clothing in them that you would expect. Somebody that probably wants to change before they even get into their car in some cases, depending on the type of day they had. But you're not seeing anything super out of place. There is one car that does have a medical bag in them, but house calls are not uncommon still.
Can I try that car if it's open?
See if they had locks back then.
The lock was just a sign on the window saying, "Please do not steal."
Yes, it would have locks. However, they were notoriously easy to pick in in the 20s. So, if you want to go ahead and pick the lock, it'll be a +2.
So, just going to roll a persuasion because I've got the D4 on it. So,
Convince the lock to open itself.
that's it. Oh,
Your wild die's the one that's carrying you here.
Well, he did get a +2, so either way.
Yeah.
Which I just rolled the d4 on, actually. So
Yeah.
that's actually a 9. I don't know.
The lock pops right open.
Just going to quickly open the bag, see if there's anything identifying in it. If there's anything potentially
Incriminating.
incriminating, but also who it belongs to.
The only identifying name on this bag is St. Mary's Hospital. It's apparently a bag that is signed out directly from the hospital. As for what's in it, bandages, morphine, what you would typically expect to find in the bag, medicine-wise. Scalpels, syringes, so on and so forth.
Nothing bloody, nothing.
Nope. Kept as sterile as possible for it being in a bag.
Yeah, just put it back where I found it, close the door. I guess I'm going to make a move. No point hanging around in the car park. That would look strange after a bit.
That takes a little bit of time. During that, Henley returns with a folder. You hear him speak a few words to Annabelle. He's like, just give William there this folder. We have our copies still. He said that he won't need to leave the premises, but that's not necessary. If he needs more time, he can go ahead and take them with him. All right, Doctor. She stands. You wouldn't recognize the movement necessarily, Charles. But as the doctor goes to leave, William, you notice that she's very clearly putting her heels back on before she moves across the floor and hands you the folders. I'm guessing these are what you were waiting on?
Hopefully he left something in them instead of just blacking out the whole report, and I'll flick open the folder and...
It is not completely redacted. It is just not black lines. There is stuff you can read on it.
Okay.
Well then. If that's all, I hope the two of you have a good night.
And I hope you have a boring night.
Girl can dream, right? She gives a small smile and turns back to her desk.
Like I said, at this rate, the next body is probably already across town.
As she sits down, her head literally goes up and... Please do not say things like that.
I thought we were a realistic organization. No, as I continue to flick through the reports, just trying to gauge if they've identified, the whole cutting of the nerves, or just kind of trying to gauge what the medical people are thinking of these bodies.
Roll me notice. As you know, these are very formulaic. That particular section Redacted. And we're going to call the session there. From Rollsborne, take care, everybody.